Hey there, all you Habs fans, and welcome to Talking Habs with Rick. In this video, I'm going to give you my top 10 list for the worst first-round draft picks by the Montreal Canadiens. If you watched the best list, this list was a lot easier to compile because there was a lot to pick from. And I didn't just pick the players that just didn't play. That's too easy. So I tried to pick players that either didn't play or that they did play for us, but there were way better player picks out there, or whatever the reason. But I tried to not do the low-hanging fruit, because there's plenty of low-hanging fruit for this topic, that's for sure. Okay, so before we get to that, I'd just like to ask you guys to subscribe and ring the bell, and you'll find that in that corner, the bell. It'll give you notification every time I release a video. It's up to you. You don't have to, but I do appreciate when you do. Okay, so we're going to start off. There's one honorable mention that I put in here, and that is honorable mention Peter Svoboda, 1984. He was a decent defenseman for us, so it's not that he was bad, but it's just that who was out there other than Svoboda? I guess you can see there's names. So there was Luc Robitaille, Brett Hull, and not as good, but not far behind, Gary Roberts. So three really good picks. Now, I know one thing, it's a draft. It's flip a coin. But it's just to show that there were a lot better players out there. And, you know, I'm sure when they drafted, they thought they were getting the right player, but turns out not. Okay, so number 10 is Réjean Houle. He was drafted first overall in 1969. Now, Réjean Houle, another player he played for us. He had a decent career for us. But it's more like, who was out there? Bobby Clarke, famed captain of the Philadelphia Flyers, a great all-around player. And it wasn't a big draft in those years. There wasn't a lot of players taken, so that one's pretty, to me, egregious that they missed Bobby Clarke. Number 9, Danny Geoffrion. Now, I get probably why they took Danny Geoffrion, the Geoffrion name, but let's see now, Danny Geoffrion. I mean, they weren't fantastic players behind him, but I don't think he hardly played. So, Brad Marsh, long career. Al Secord, Craig McTavish, Tony McKegney, Stan Schmill. Great players in their time, and all missed. Okay, number 8. Cam Connor, 1974. Let's see, in Cam Connor's year, they missed on Brian Trottier, Mark Howe. That one, so maybe they didn't feel they needed a defenseman, but Mark Howe had the pedigree. He played in the WHA. Charlie Simmer, also great goal scorer. Started out in the Golden Seals organization and then in LA. So that's pretty big. And by the way, I'm interested to know what you guys think, and if there were any of these picks that you disagree with or you would add in here. I'm interested here in the comment section below, and I will respond. Number 7, Chuck Lefley. Sounds like an actor's name, but I think I remember he played a little bit, but I don't think he played for Montreal ever, because I think they traded him the next year to California Golden Seals, I think. They missed Daryl Sittler in that draft. And also not a big draft. There weren't a lot of rounds and not a lot of players, because there were only 12 teams. And also Billy Smith, that great Islanders goaltender. So, pretty bad. And isn't that, Daryl Sittler and Billy Smith. But again, like I said, you never know, right, in the draft. Number 6, Eric Charon in 1988. Eric Charon. In that draft were also Rob Blake, great defenseman, Mark Recchi, who ended up being here eventually, but and Tony Amonte. Maybe not as big a name, and he was an American, but he put up a lot of points, over 1,000 points, I think, in his career. He had a good career, good player. And he was highly touted at the time, him and Doug Wade, I believe, that year. Number 5. Am I right? It's 5? Yeah. Gaston Gingras. That's a player who they acquired twice. I think they drafted him, traded him to Toronto, got him back later. He played for us, and everyone will remember he had a wicked shot, just never know where it was going to go. But in that draft, Mark Messier was there. Glenn Anderson, and a Hab killer from the Nordiques, Dale Hunter. And we ended up drafting his brother a couple years later, but Dale Hunter was in that draft as well. So to me, that's a miss. 1989, I'll never forget this one. Lindsay Vallis, a big forward from the Western Hockey League. I think in those days they loved Western Hockey League players. I don't think any one of them ever made it in the first round. They did good in the other rounds. Just first round, they were a bust. Lindsay Vallis in that draft, not too much. Just Sergei Fedorov, Nick Lidstrom. That's enough. But Adam Foote, great player, and went to Quebec. And Olaf Kolzig, a pretty good goalie. Who doesn't need a good goalie? So, and for Lindsay Vallis, he never played ever. Okay, number 3. Number 3 is David Fisher. Another guy that, I don't know, he might have played a game or two, but that's it. Let's see, David Fisher in 2006. The worst part about David Fisher was 2 picks later for Philadelphia, they took Claude Giroux. 2 picks later, Claude Giroux was right there. How good would Claude Giroux do in Montreal Habs uniform? And he's French. I believe he's French, isn't he? Anyways, how did they miss that? Don't know. Number 2, Jason Ward, 1997. And I remember Jason Ward, big, tough guy. But he never played much for us. A little bit, but not much for us. And here, the problem here was next pick for Ottawa was Marian Hossa. Marian Hossa would have looked nice it would have looked nice in our uniform. And again, they tried to make up for it. They drafted his brother, who wasn't even a quarter of the talent. And the number 1, and I'm sure everybody knows which one this one is going to be, 1980s, Doug Wickenheiser. Sorry. Doug Wickenheiser. Instead of picking Denny Savard 2 picks later, Larry Murphy, Paul Coffey, Steve Larmer, Bernie Nichols, and I believe a few others. I just thought that was enough. So that's why he's number 1. Besides, I mean, Denny Savard was supposed to be the number 1 pick. He's French from Quebec. Goes on to a Hall of Fame career, and they don't pick him. So yeah, they made a few mistakes, the Canadians, in first round picks, because they had some good picks overall. Just first round picks, never been good for them. And you know that saying, baseball been very, very good to me. First round picks been very, very bad to them. And not to criticize, because the draft is hard. So, and like I said, they did well for other rounds, just not in the first round. Okay, so there you have it. That's my top 10 list plus 1 honorable mention for the worst first round draft picks of the Montreal Canadiens. So I would like, if you liked the video, please like, and if you didn't like it, please dislike. That's what they're there for. Like or dislike, and subscribe. I guess if you didn't like it, you wouldn't subscribe. But if you subscribe and ring the bell, that corner, and that'll notify you of all my videos. And there you go. So I'll be back tomorrow with a pre-game and a post-game for the Arizona game before the All-Star break. And I'm probably going to do the All-Star game and review it just for fun. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Okay, so have a great day, and I will see you again soon right here at Talking Habs with Rick. Bye-bye.